Hey, welcome back to Edgar Cayce Narratives. If you're returning to the channel, I'm glad you're here again. Today we're exploring one of the strangest experiences most people have, at least once in their lives. It's an experience that often lasts only a few seconds, yet leaves a lasting impression. It can happen on an ordinary day, in an ordinary place, and make you question what just happened in your mind. Imagine this. A man walks into an office building for the first time. He has never visited this city before. He has never met the people waiting inside. Nothing about the situation should feel familiar. Yet as he steps through the lobby doors, something unexpected happens. A strong feeling rushes over him. He suddenly feels certain he has already lived this exact moment before. The sunlight through the windows feels familiar. The distant sounds of conversation feel familiar. Even the movement of a stranger walking past him feels familiar. For a few seconds, it seems as though he is remembering something impossible to remember. Then the feeling disappears. The man continues with his day, but he can't stop thinking about what happened. He knows he has never been there before. He knows the people are strangers. He knows the situation is new. Yet part of him still feels convinced he has experienced it already. It is not a dream he remembers. It is not a memory he can place. It is simply a feeling of recognition without explanation. People all over the world report similar experiences. A student sitting in a classroom suddenly feels as if the conversation has already happened. A woman meeting someone for the first time feels a strange familiarity with the encounter. A traveler standing in a distant city feels as if they have been there before. The details change, but the experience is consistently reported. We call this phenomenon déjà vu, a French term meaning already seen. It is one of the most common unexplained experiences humans report. Most people will experience it at least once, and many experience it repeatedly. Despite being common, it remains difficult to fully explain. Scientists have studied déjà vu for decades. Neurologists examine brain activity during these moments. Psychologists explore how memory systems might create the illusion of familiarity. Researchers propose theories involving perception, attention, memory processing, and pattern recognition. Some explanations address parts of the phenomenon, but none account for every aspect. What makes déjà vu compelling is how real it feels. People do not describe it as imagination or guessing. They describe it as certainty. For a brief moment, they feel absolutely convinced they know something they should not. Even after the feeling fades, the emotional impact often remains. Many people remember the exact moment years later because it felt different from ordinary memory. This raises the question, what creates that sense of familiarity? Is it a brain mistake? A brief glitch in memory processing? Or could it reflect something deeper in human consciousness? Why do some moments feel emotionally familiar even when they are objectively new? Why do certain people, places, or situations trigger this reaction while countless other experiences pass unnoticed? Edgar Cayce approached questions like these differently. While modern science focuses on brain mechanics, Cayce spoke about memory in a broader sense. He suggested that human experience might extend beyond a single lifetime, and that deeper layers of memory could exist beneath ordinary conscious awareness. According to some readings, familiar people, places, and situations can occasionally trigger responses not originating entirely from present life experience. Whether you agree with that idea or not, it prompts a fascinating question. If the brain has never experienced a moment before, why can it sometimes feel remembered? Why can a completely new experience arrive with the emotional weight of an old memory? In this episode, we'll explore both sides of that question. We'll look at what neuroscience says about déjà vu, examine real experiences reported by ordinary people, and explore Edgar Cayce's concept of soul memory as a different interpretation of the same phenomenon. Together, we'll consider whether déjà vu is simply a harmless trick of the mind or a brief glimpse into a deeper layer of human experience we do not yet fully understand. Déjà vu is not a new curiosity. People have noticed it for centuries, and it has appeared in historical texts across cultures. Ancient Greeks wrote about moments of already seen experiences, noting how the mind could suddenly make the familiar out of the unknown. Philosophers and early psychologists studied it as well, trying to categorize it alongside memory and perception. Yet even in those early observations, déjà vu remained puzzling. The fact that it appears in so many different societies and time periods suggests that it is a fundamental part of human consciousness, rather than a rare anomaly. Modern science approaches déjà vu from a neurological and cognitive perspective. Researchers have found that the temporal lobes, particularly the areas involved in memory and recognition, are often active during these moments. One theory is that déjà vu occurs when there is a mismatch between the brain's short-term and long-term memory processing, creating a false sense of familiarity. Another explanation involves split-second delays in perception, where the brain processes the same information twice and interprets it as a memory. While these ideas help explain some aspects, they do not fully account for why certain moments trigger déjà vu, while most others pass unnoticed. Psychologists also explore how pattern recognition and subconscious cues might play a role. Sometimes the mind detects similarities between a new situation and previous experiences without conscious awareness, giving the impression of memory. This could involve familiar spatial layouts, emotional tones, or even subtle sensory details. In this view, déjà vu is not a full memory, but a partial recognition that feels complete because of how the brain integrates information. However, this explanation still leaves open questions about why the sensation can feel so vivid and convincing. Despite scientific research, many elements of déjà vu remain unexplained. The frequency, intensity, and emotional impact vary greatly among individuals. Some experience it only once or twice in life, while others report it regularly. Certain triggers, like stress, fatigue, or intense emotional events, appear to increase the likelihood of experiencing it. Yet no universal pattern fully predicts when it will occur. This uncertainty keeps déjà vu both scientifically intriguing and deeply mysterious, inviting further exploration into both the brain and the mind. Even within scientific frameworks, déjà vu challenges our understanding of memory itself. What counts as a memory? Can memory exist beyond conscious recall? How can a new experience carry the emotional weight of something familiar? These questions highlight the limits of neuroscience when it comes to explaining human experience fully, suggesting that there may be more to the phenomenon than brain activity alone. Across the world, people describe déjà vu during some of the most important moments in their lives, and these experiences often leave a lasting impression. A young woman recalls walking into a lecture hall for her first day at college and instantly feeling that she had already sat through this exact class, heard the professor's words, and even felt the same nervous anticipation. The memory felt real, though she knew it was impossible, and it stayed with her for years as a vivid, unexplainable moment. Similarly, a businessman entering a conference room for a critical meeting experienced the same unsettling certainty that he had already attended this meeting before, even down to the gestures of the people around him and the sequence of slides presented. These moments are not limited to everyday events. They often appear during life-changing situations. People report déjà vu when making major decisions, meeting someone who becomes a lifelong friend or partner, or even during emotionally intense experiences like a wedding or the birth of a child. The sensation seems to heighten when the stakes are high, or when emotions run deep, suggesting that déjà vu may be linked not just to memory errors, but also to the significance the brain assigns to the event. In addition to emotional intensity, certain patterns recur across reports. Many people describe a sense of spatial familiarity, feeling they have been in a location before, even though all evidence suggests otherwise. Others feel emotional familiarity, as if the situation is known on a deeper, almost instinctual level. A traveler might enter a foreign city and feel as though the streets, buildings, and even smells are known, creating a blend of wonder and confusion. These cases show that déjà vu is not only a fleeting curiosity, but also a powerful experience with emotional resonance. Sharing these real-life stories helps us see déjà vu not just as an abstract concept, but as something deeply human and relatable. The experiences highlight the intensity of the sensation, how convincing it can feel, and how it often prompts reflection on memory, perception, and even the nature of consciousness itself. People remember these moments precisely because they feel extraordinary, because they feel like a window into something larger than ordinary life. As we move deeper into this mystery, the first place most researchers look is the human brain itself. If déjà vu feels like a memory, then the obvious question is whether the brain is accidentally creating that feeling. Modern neuroscience does not view déjà vu as evidence of a hidden reality or a supernatural event. Instead, it attempts to explain the experience through the normal processes of memory, perception, and recognition. The challenge is that déjà vu happens quickly, often unexpectedly, and cannot easily be recreated in a laboratory. Scientists are therefore forced to study a phenomenon that appears suddenly and disappears almost immediately. One of the most widely discussed explanations involves a temporary mismatch in the brain's memory systems. Under normal circumstances, the brain constantly sorts incoming information, deciding what is new and what is familiar. Most of this process happens automatically and outside conscious awareness. Researchers suggest that in a moment of déjà vu, the feeling of familiarity may be triggered before the brain has fully identified the source of that familiarity. The result is a strange sensation where something feels remembered even though no actual memory can be found. In simple terms, the brain may accidentally activate the emotional signal of recognition without providing the memory that should accompany it. Another theory focuses on timing rather than memory. According to this explanation, the brain may process the same information twice within a fraction of a second. The first signal enters awareness so briefly that it is not consciously noticed. When the second signal arrives, the brain interprets it as familiar because it has technically already processed it once before. The delay is so small that the person never notices two separate events. Instead, they experience a powerful feeling that the present moment has already happened. This theory is attractive because it offers a mechanical explanation for a phenomenon that often feels impossible to explain. Researchers have also explored the role of the temporal lobes, regions of the brain heavily involved in memory formation and recognition. Studies have shown that people with certain forms of temporal lobe epilepsy sometimes experience intense episodes of déjà vu before a seizure occurs. This discovery led scientists to investigate whether ordinary déjà vu might involve similar memory-related brain circuits. While most people who experience déjà vu are perfectly healthy, the connection suggests that specific neurological processes may contribute to the sensation of false familiarity. The brain appears capable of generating a powerful sense of recognition even when no corresponding memory exists. Yet even when neuroscience provides possible explanations, another question remains. Why do some moments trigger déjà vu while others do not? Every day we encounter thousands of sights, sounds, and experiences. If déjà vu is simply a memory processing error, why does it tend to appear during particular situations rather than randomly throughout the day? Why do so many people remember their déjà vu experiences years later while forgetting countless ordinary events? These questions suggest that there may be factors beyond simple neurological mechanics influencing the experience. Psychologists often point toward subconscious pattern recognition. The human brain is constantly searching for similarities between present experiences and past experiences. Most of this comparison happens below conscious awareness. You may walk into a room that resembles a place you visited years ago without realizing the connection. You may hear a tone of voice, notice a facial expression, or sense an emotional atmosphere that reminds you of something forgotten. The conscious mind fails to identify the source, but the subconscious mind detects a familiar pattern. As a result, the entire situation feels strangely known, even though you cannot explain why. This explanation becomes especially interesting when emotions are involved. Human memory is not simply a collection of facts. Memory is strongly connected to emotion. In many cases, people remember how something felt more clearly than they remember the details of what happened. Researchers have found that emotionally significant experiences are often stored more deeply and recalled more easily. This raises an important possibility. Perhaps some episodes of déjà vu are not triggered by physical similarities at all. Perhaps they are triggered by emotional similarities. A situation may feel familiar because it creates the same emotional state as an earlier experience, even when the circumstances are completely different. Imagine meeting someone for the first time and immediately feeling comfortable around them. Objectively, they are a stranger. You know very little about them. Yet something about the interaction feels familiar. The way they speak, the energy of the conversation, or the emotions they evoke may unconsciously remind you of someone from your past. Your brain detects a pattern before your conscious mind understands it. In some cases, this process may contribute to the sensation of déjà vu. The familiarity is real, but the source remains hidden from awareness. Another important factor is attention. Studies suggest that people are more likely to experience déjà vu when they are tired, stressed, distracted, or mentally overloaded. During these conditions, the brain may be more prone to unusual processing errors. Information may not be organized as efficiently, increasing the chances of confusion between new experiences and familiar ones. This could explain why déjà vu often appears unexpectedly during busy periods of life. However, it still does not explain why certain moments feel so emotionally meaningful when the sensation occurs. Perhaps the most fascinating aspect of déjà vu is that it forces us to examine the nature of memory itself. We often think of memory as a simple record of past events, but modern psychology shows that memory is far more complex. Memories are reconstructed rather than replayed. They are influenced by emotion, interpretation, and perception. In some cases, people can feel certain about memories that never actually happened. In other cases, real memories can become distorted over time. The line between remembering and feeling familiar is not always as clear as we assume. This is where scientific explanations begin to encounter their limits. Neuroscience can describe the mechanisms involved in recognition. Psychology can explain how patterns and emotions influence perception. Researchers can identify brain regions associated with familiarity. Yet none of these explanations fully captures the subjective experience itself. They explain how the sensation might occur, but they do not entirely explain why it feels so profound. They tell us what the brain may be doing, but not necessarily why the experience can feel meaningful on a deeply personal level. For many people, déjà vu is not memorable because it is strange. It is memorable because it feels important. There is often a sense that the moment carries significance beyond the experience itself. People describe feeling as though they are exactly where they are supposed to be, meeting someone they were somehow meant to meet, or standing at a turning point they have encountered before. Science can explain parts of this feeling, but it does not fully explain the emotional certainty that often accompanies it. And that is where our exploration begins to move beyond neuroscience alone. If the brain can create feelings of familiarity without a clear memory, then we have learned something important about human perception. But if these moments sometimes seem connected to major decisions, meaningful relationships, and significant life events, then another question emerges. Is the brain simply making mistakes? Or could these experiences be pointing toward a deeper layer of memory that modern science has not yet fully explored? Edgar Cayce approached experiences like déjà vu from a perspective very different from modern neuroscience, focusing on the soul rather than the brain. He suggested that the soul carries memories beyond a single lifetime, and that certain moments, people, or places can trigger these deeper layers of memory, giving the impression that we are remembering something we have never consciously experienced. According to his readings, these soul memories are not random. They often appear at times of decision, personal growth, or emotional significance, signaling opportunities for learning and understanding. Cayce described situations in which individuals would encounter people, objects, or locations that felt strangely familiar, even though the person could not have experienced them in their current life. He interpreted these feelings as the soul's way of connecting with patterns or experiences from past incarnations, suggesting that familiarity is not limited to what the brain has recorded in the present lifetime. In other words, déjà vu might be a window into a larger, ongoing story that extends across multiple lifetimes, where recognition arises not from current memory, but from accumulated soul experience. Some readings indicate that déjà vu can carry guidance. For example, experiencing a strong sense of familiarity in a new setting could be a subtle reminder of lessons previously encountered or paths already taken by the soul. These moments often coincide with emotionally charged situations, pivotal decisions, or encounters that have a lasting impact on the individual. In this view, the intensity and emotional weight of déjà vu are not simply accidental, but purposeful, drawing attention to elements of life that may require reflection or conscious understanding. Cayce's perspective offers a different lens for interpreting déjà vu alongside scientific explanations. While neuroscience focuses on brain activity, memory processing, and recognition errors, the soul memory concept accounts for the subjective depth and emotional resonance of these experiences. It suggests that déjà vu may reflect more than a temporary glitch or an unconscious pattern. It may hint at an underlying continuity of consciousness that modern science has yet to fully measure. By considering both the neurological and soul memory perspectives, we begin to see déjà vu as a multi-layered phenomenon. It is at once a cognitive experience and a deeply personal sensation, combining elements of brain function, emotional resonance, and possibly timeless memory. This does not require belief in reincarnation. It simply opens the possibility that human experience may extend beyond what we perceive in the present moment. In this framework, déjà vu is not an error, but a meaningful signal, an opportunity to reflect on patterns, lessons, and connections that may already be part of the soul's ongoing journey. As we look at déjà vu across different people and experiences, patterns begin to emerge that suggest it is not purely random. Many individuals report experiencing déjà vu repeatedly in similar contexts, such as during important life decisions, critical conversations, or emotionally intense events. Romantic relationships, career milestones, or major personal transitions often coincide with these sensations, suggesting that the moments are connected to recurring themes in life rather than isolated brain errors. By observing these patterns, we begin to see déjà vu as a signal highlighting specific aspects of human experience that may be significant on a personal level. For example, some people consistently feel déjà vu when meeting someone new who will later play an important role in their life. The sensation of familiarity appears at the exact moment that a meaningful relationship or connection begins. Others experience déjà vu during moments of choice, when the path they take could have lasting consequences. In these cases, the feeling may prompt reflection or intuition about the decision, as if the mind or soul is alerting them to lessons or experiences that are part of a larger pattern. Repetition and context seem to matter more than chance, indicating that déjà vu often aligns with events of personal significance. These recurring themes are also apparent in the emotional dimension of déjà vu. People frequently describe a sense of comfort, recognition, or subtle warning in these moments, suggesting that the experience is emotionally informative. A traveler might feel a sudden sense of belonging in a new city. A student might sense familiarity in a classroom they have never entered. Or an individual might feel that a conversation is eerily familiar, even with strangers. These emotional resonances reinforce the idea that déjà vu is not a random glitch, but a meaningful phenomenon, pointing to deeper connections in life or recurring lessons that require attention. Cayce's concept of soul memory provides a framework for understanding why these patterns might occur. If the soul carries experiences across lifetimes, then déjà vu could reflect encounters that are aligned with lessons, relationships, or environments already familiar on a deeper, non-conscious level. The repetition in patterns across different situations could represent the soul's method of highlighting important connections, experiences, or decisions. From this perspective, recurring déjà vu moments are not mere coincidences. They are signals that call attention to meaningful aspects of personal development and experience. By examining the patterns and emotional significance of déjà vu, we see that these moments are not isolated anomalies, but part of a broader tapestry of human experience. They may point to lessons, connections, or recurring challenges that are important for personal growth. Whether interpreted through neuroscience or the lens of soul memory, the recurrence of these experiences suggests that déjà vu serves as a subtle guide, drawing our attention to what matters most in our lives and prompting reflection on the paths we are following. Even after decades of research, there are still important questions about déjà vu that remain unanswered. Scientists can describe what parts of the brain may be involved and propose mechanisms that could create a false sense of familiarity, but they still cannot predict exactly when a person will experience déjà vu. Two people can encounter similar situations and have completely different reactions. One may feel nothing unusual, while the other experiences a powerful certainty that the moment has happened before. If déjà vu is simply the result of memory processing errors, why does it appear so selectively? Why do only certain moments trigger the sensation, while thousands of other experiences pass unnoticed? Another unanswered question involves the emotional intensity that often accompanies déjà vu. If the experience is merely a neurological event, why does it sometimes feel deeply meaningful? Many people describe a sense that the moment matters, even when they cannot explain why. They often remember the experience years later, not because it was dramatic, but because it felt important. Some report feeling as though they were standing at a crossroads in life. Others describe a sense of certainty that they were exactly where they needed to be. These emotional reactions are difficult to measure scientifically, yet they are a consistent part of many first-hand accounts. There is also the question of why déjà vu frequently appears during periods of transition or personal change. People often report experiencing it during important meetings, major life decisions, new relationships, career shifts, or moments that later prove significant. Of course, this could be coincidence. Human beings naturally search for meaning and patterns, especially when looking back on their lives. Yet the pattern appears often enough that it continues to attract attention. If the experience is random, why does it seem connected to moments that people later identify as turning points? The mystery becomes even deeper when we consider the nature of memory itself. Most of us assume that memory is simply a record of past experiences, but modern psychology shows that memory is far more complex. We remember selectively. We forget most of what happens to us. We reconstruct memories rather than replay them exactly as they occurred. At the same time, we can feel strong familiarity without being able to identify its source. This raises an intriguing possibility. Perhaps memory is not limited to conscious recall. Perhaps there are layers of recognition, association, and emotional knowledge that operate beneath ordinary awareness. This is one of the reasons Edgar Cayce's perspective continues to interest many people today. His readings suggest that human consciousness may be larger than our waking awareness. According to this view, what we call memory may not be limited to events stored by the physical brain during a single lifetime. Familiarity could arise from deeper levels of experience that remain largely hidden from conscious thought. Whether one accepts this interpretation or not, it offers a possible explanation for why certain moments feel meaningful before we understand their significance. Of course, it is important to recognize that no definitive evidence proves that déjà vu originates from past life memories or soul experiences. The phenomenon remains open to interpretation. Scientific explanations continue to evolve, and future discoveries may answer questions that remain unresolved today. At the same time, the absence of complete answers leaves room for curiosity. Not every mystery must be solved immediately to be worth exploring. Sometimes the most valuable questions are the ones that encourage us to look more closely at our own experiences. Perhaps the most honest conclusion is that we still do not fully understand what déjà vu is. We know it is real as a human experience. We know it is common. We know it can feel powerful and emotionally significant. Beyond that, much remains uncertain. The brain may be responsible for creating the sensation, but there may also be aspects of consciousness that science has not yet fully explained. The possibility remains open, and that uncertainty is part of what makes the phenomenon so fascinating. When people talk about déjà vu, they are often trying to answer a larger question without realizing it. They are not only asking why a moment feels familiar, they are asking what memory really is. They are asking how much of themselves exists beneath conscious awareness. They are asking whether human experience is larger than it appears on the surface. Those questions reach far beyond neuroscience, touching on identity, consciousness, and the possibility that there is still much about the human mind that we have yet to discover. As we come to the end of this exploration, we return to the same question that has followed us from the beginning. Why does a moment we have never lived sometimes feel like a memory? Despite decades of research, there is still no single answer that fully explains the experience. Neuroscience offers valuable insights into how the brain processes recognition, memory, and familiarity. Psychology helps us understand how emotions, subconscious associations, and pattern recognition can shape our perception. These explanations provide important pieces of the puzzle, and they help us see that déjà vu is not simply imagination or fantasy. It is a genuine human experience rooted in the way our minds interpret the world around us. At the same time, many people feel that scientific explanations do not fully capture the experience itself. The sensation often feels too personal, too emotionally charged, and too meaningful to dismiss entirely as a simple processing error. Whether that feeling reflects something deeper or simply reveals how complex the human brain truly is, remains an open question. This is where Edgar Cayce's perspective offers a different possibility. His concept of soul memory suggests that familiarity may sometimes arise from experiences beyond our conscious awareness, experiences that are not easily measured but may still influence how we move through life. For some people, this idea provides a framework that helps explain why certain places, people, and moments feel strangely remembered. Perhaps the most important lesson is not choosing one explanation over another. Perhaps the value lies in remaining open to both. Science encourages us to investigate, test, and question. Spiritual perspectives encourage us to reflect, observe, and consider possibilities that may not yet be fully understood. Between those two approaches lies a space for curiosity. In that space, we do not need absolute certainty. We simply need the willingness to ask deeper questions about our own experiences. The next time you experience déjà vu, pay attention to the moment. Notice where you are. Notice who is with you. Notice what emotions you are feeling and what decisions may be unfolding around you. Maybe it is simply your brain doing something unusual. Maybe it is your subconscious recognizing a hidden pattern. Or maybe it is something we do not yet fully understand. Whatever the explanation, the experience invites us to become more aware of ourselves and the paths we are following. And perhaps that is why déjà vu continues to fascinate people around the world. It reminds us that even in an age of advanced science and technology, some experiences still resist easy answers. It reminds us that human consciousness remains one of the greatest mysteries we know. And it reminds us that sometimes the most meaningful questions are the ones that remain partially unanswered. Before we finish, I'd love to hear about your own experiences. Have you ever had a moment of déjà vu that felt impossible to explain? Did it happen during an important decision, a significant relationship, or a major turning point in your life? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience may help others see this phenomenon from a new perspective. If you enjoyed this episode and want to explore more topics related to soul memory, past lives, Edgar Cayce's readings, and the deeper patterns that shape human experience, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Edgar Cayce Narratives. It helps the channel grow and allows us to continue exploring these fascinating questions together. And if there is a question from today's episode that still feels unanswered, or if there is a topic you would like us to explore in a future video, leave a comment below. I read your suggestions, and many future episodes begin with the questions shared by viewers just like you. Thank you for spending this time with me. Until next time, take care, stay curious, and keep paying attention to those moments that make you stop and wonder whether there might be more to the story than we realize.